So if you know the words, sing along. You and me, that's all that we need to make a good time better. My heart shines just like a rainbow whenever we're together. Come along, we'll sing our song each and every day. With a new best friend like you, I'm not afraid to say, together, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Forever, side by side with you. Yeah. Whoa. Learning to share, we're learning, taking time to care. Till a dream becomes a dream come true. Together, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Life is like a merry-go-round and a rock and roller coaster. Every day's a fantasy dream like a teen magazine poster. Come along, we'll sing our song each and every day. With a new best friend like you, I'm not afraid to say, together, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Forever, side by side with you. Yeah. Whoa. Learning to share, we're learning, taking time to care. Till a dream becomes a dream come true. Together, we can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Hello YouTube, Cricket and Corky's Clubhouse featuring Jill TV coming at you again with another video. As you saw in the intro, it was quite a grand reveal. If you have wondered what I have been up to for the last couple months and the last 2 years, now you can see everything all together at one time. I know I have posted many videos of these girls in front of us here. These were my original, and these are the ones that were featured in all of the videos you've seen so far. And then as the year has progressed, you've seen me make a lot of videos about restoration and fixing hair and fixing parts. And that's where all of these came in. Every time I got an unboxing, I didn't record all of them, but all those different videos was me basically restoring, ground up, all of these different Jills. So I know there's not an official title, but I'm pretty sure I hold the record for the most Jills in the United States. So I know it's very niche. That's probably why I have that many. But I can't say world because there is one fella over in New Zealand that has, I think, about 10 more than I do. So, but this is everything I've accumulated over the past 2 years. It just hit my anniversary about a month ago. So it's been a little over 2 years now. And what started with one just kept going. So I've got a lot going on here. You know, a lot of repeats, obviously. Originally I wanted to put them all in the original outfit here, but I have the outfits, I just ran out of two things, the socks and the shoes, mainly the shoelaces. So that is why you see some other Jills wearing some of the other outfits. And it kind of diversified that, but I think it would have been funny to see them all in the original outfit. Most of these have all been done. I spend anywhere from 4 hours washing hair to, I don't know, it can take up to 8 hours to do it, sometimes depending on how bad it is, and then you spend time curling it, then you have to wait a few days, then you have to uncurl it, and it's been a long 2 months. I've been working almost non-stop because I had a break where I could do that. So I didn't get to all of them though. I call these the imposter Jills, but we're running out of time for the summer and I wanted to go ahead and get this video done. But you can see this is a Jill that has her hair completely redone, and this is one that I have not had a chance to touch yet. So it's dry, very, very frizzy, not shiny. And there's another one's here, ponytail's flat. So there's a few of them out here that I still have to do, but for the most part, everything is done. I posted just a kind of a quick snippet on this girl. I'm most proud of her. This is my third African American Jill, and I only know of 3 others out in the world. 2 belong to that fellow in New Zealand, and then the third one belongs to Duke's Dolls. So I'm very, very blessed to have been able to have 1, 2, and now 3. But when I got this girl, I can easily say she was the most damaged Jill out of all of these Jills in the whole room. She was quite a feat to get working again. I had to literally rebuild her, like literally when I say ground up, like I had to go down all the way to just the shell. She needed all new parts. I even had to take her entire head apart and pull out everything inside and give her new parts there. So she took a while to fix, and I'm happy to finally have her in the collection. She was wearing the cheerleader outfit because I'm trying to go with whatever is on the back of the box for the promotional shoot. And the African American Jill was wearing the slumber party outfit, which is what I first put mine in, and then also the cheerleader outfit. So that means this girl at some point will get swapped out into my main display. Another one I'm proud of that I haven't got a chance to fully work on yet is I was able to get the elusive, rare, I don't know what else to call her, platinum Jill. We've seen 3 of these now in the world, so I don't know if it was just an anomaly that day at the factory that ran out of regular golden blonde hair and had a whiter version, but we call her the platinum Jill, and she's not very easy to find, so I also will be adding her over somewhere in here. I don't know who will get replaced yet or where she's going to end up, but she will become one of these Jills down here as well. So I've been very, very busy, definitely indeed, and I appreciate all the subscribers and the comments and the Jill fandom and all the new people that have never heard of Jill and have now found her and fallen in love with her and enjoy watching the Jill TV playlist of all her 80s hits. She's just been a lot of fun. But with that being said, I have this large amount. This is all I really need to keep. So they take up a lot of room, and I've spent an unfathomable amount of time and money finding Jills, repairing them. And sadly, for me to continue moving forward, I really love working on them. But for me to do that, I need to get rid of some. So starting this summer, probably in the next few weeks, and then maybe into the fall, depending on how well it does, I am going to start putting these up individually on eBay for sale. They are fully working for the most part, which is something that has never been offered before. If you follow Jill, if you've ever looked on the secondary market for them, they're very expensive. They right now are going, you see them fluctuate between $250. I think one just sold for almost $400. I've paid up to $500 before for some of these Jills, and they're labeled untested, and I have a problem with that. So whenever you see untested, which almost all of them say, I don't know if I buy into that or not. Now, if it's a Jill and she doesn't come with a tape, sure, she's untested, because there's absolutely no way to test a Jill without one of her original tapes. But if they have a tape sitting next to a Jill and they're telling me that she's untested, you're telling me that you have this doll and you're trying to sell it for this large amount of money and you weren't curious enough to put batteries in it and test her out? I don't know if I buy that. So when I get a Jill, 99% of the time, I already just know she's not going to work, or if she does, it's going to be just a very minimal movement. I'm really just looking for sound. Like if there's some audio, like noise coming out of the speaker, then I know I have a chance to work on her. But with these Jills, they're going to be obviously fully working. So for the first time ever on the secondary market, working Jills will be able to be sent out. They will have, the face movement, the arm movement, the whole works. They also have been cleaned, their hair has been done, their outfits have been washed. Most of the outfits, some of them were very clean when I got them. So But with that being said, the reason I'm saying that is that I don't want people to get shocked over the ticket price, because her sticker price is not going to be very cheap. It's not going to be like take out a mortgage on your home expensive, but we already know how much the broken ones cost, and I need to get some of that time and investment back to put these out there. So I'm curious, we'll see. It may not work at all, but she's not going to be cheap. And the reason is that people think maybe I just get a Jill, you know, and I fix her up, and now I'm trying to charge way more. But there's a lot more to that. Like I said, I can spend hours a day of my time working on them. Sometimes it takes weeks to work on them. Like I've had her for months now working on her. And that's a lot of time, and also it's a lot of parts. So I may get a Jill and there's parts that are completely broken inside of her. So now I've got to get another Jill and pay all those hundreds of dollars and put the parts in them. So some Jills take 2 or 3 different Jills combined just to make one Jill to get her fully working again. So there's a lot. I've invested a lot in these. So unfortunately, I'm not able to let them go for a value price. But if you are a hardcore collector and you wanted a Jill in your collection, I will be putting them up. They all will be coming in their original outfits for the most part. Like I said, I have some dressed in other outfits, but I want to be able to offer the original tape that comes with Jill, because obviously you need a tape to be able to play her. And unfortunately, I don't have as many of those. It looks like I have a lot of those tapes laying around, but I only have a few to use. So until I can find more tapes, I won't be able to sell as many as I want. I do have an additional first job tape, so I will be able to sell one of my Jill first jobs, so she'll come dressed in that. But slumber party and all of that will not be up for sale yet. Same with babysitting, because I want you to be able to have the correct tape. So once I find more tapes, hopefully I can do that for more sales. But I have helped out friends and other people over the last 2 years trading tapes and buying tapes, and now I've ended up with all of these extra Jills, and I only have about 9 extra tapes. If even that, I don't even think I have 9. So the main one I'm keeping in my collection is this one, which is from what I understand, very rare. It is the white case version. This only came with the first production of Jills, and then they were switched over to the blue and the green and the pink cases and the clear cases. So that's going to be the one that stays in my main display. But the other thing I wanted to mention with these Jills is, and I'm going to spell this out in bold letters with fireworks and stop signs and alarms on eBay, is that if you've watched my videos, you have to understand the best way to describe a working animatronic Jill is that she's like working on an old car. So you can work on an old car and you can fix it, and you turn it on, it cranks and it's running and you're excited, you take it down the road and then you park it, and the next day you come out and it's not working again. That is very much what happens with these Jills, and it's not anything that can be done to prevent that. These dolls were made 35 years ago, and even back then they were made with cheap plastic parts and cheap parts on the inside. So who'd ever thought that, you know, in the future, 35 years later, people would still be collecting and still want to see her move. So with that being said, sometimes I'll work on a Jill and I'll spend hours and hours on her, and I'll get her working and I'll set her down, and the next day something's off, something's not working right, you know. Whenever I recorded those videos that you've seen of, it's literally I spend a few hours working on her prior, and then I know she's working, so I go ahead and set her up and I do the videos. So the reason I haven't sold any up until this point is because I do worry about that, because the last thing I want to do is sell a Jill, and you know, she's going to be expensive and she works, and I'll have video showing that she works, and then the person gets it and then she either stops working, or maybe they grab her wrong and they pop off an arm, because the arms are so brittle and fragile, you know, they're again old plastic. So I worry about that, and I kind of had something like that happen this summer. I did trade away one of my Jills for the first time. And I spent, a week or so working on her. I sent videos. Here she is. She works. She's great. Everything's awesome. Sent her out, and then just a few days later, they messaged and were saying that her arm wasn't working that great. And it's kind of awkward because it did work when I sent it, and I have, sent video of it, but she's not, it's just the nature of this doll. And I don't mind helping to fix those problems. So the problem is it's hard to get into, right? Like, so to fix an arm, to look at that, you have to like tear her apart and open her up, and it's a lot of work. I don't mind getting them shipped back if people want me to work on them. I don't mind doing that either, but that's expensive. So she is quite pricey. She's about 13 pounds. She's a big girl. She's 33 inches tall, so she's not cheap to ship. So if you're paying round trip shipping costs, that you're investing even more money into her. So I'm gonna lead with that precaution that she's a wonderful doll, and if you take care of her and keep her maintenance going, she can work. And hopefully that's what people do, is that they can watch my videos and see how to keep her up to speed. And if they have a problem, they can watch a video on how to work on something, or of course reach out to me and I can either help them personally or make a video on how to make that happen. So I have worried about that, is that she is very temperamental, and she's, you can have her working one day and the next day she doesn't. So, and in fact, I'm a little nervous because all of my original Jills have been sitting here on display for almost a year, and I know all the electronic people out there are throwing things at me right now because you're supposed to run your electronics fairly regularly to keep them going, and now these Jills have all sat here for almost a year, so who knows what's going to happen when I get ready to run them again. But that's another reason I need to get rid of some, because it's got to the point where, could you imagine if I tried to keep maintenance and run all of these Jills? It would take, I don't even know how much time, and all the batteries to put in. It just would be a nightmare. So managing just a few would be much, much easier. So I know all of these are working right now because I've been working on them for the last 2 months, but they all have their own little quirks. So, and all that will be put in the postings on eBay. So it'll talk about whatever, how this one is a little temperamental, and if the tape doesn't sound quite right, you just have to pull it out just a little bit and adjust the, listen for the sound, things like that. But all of the facial movement will be working. The arms will work. They do spaz out sometimes and go up, and there's ways to fix that as well. So the only ones that I will not be putting up are the ones that I had mentioned. So I'm going to be keeping my third African American Jill, and of course the Platinum Jill. But all the other ones will be fair game. So look for those in the future. I just kind of wanted to break that news here. Also, I have mentioned, I know multiple times, but I am ready now that I finished this project, which I've been working on extensively all summer, is to run those second versions of Jill. So if you've seen all of the stories that Jill has, you know that she has alternate tracks. So I'm going to do my best to get her to play those alternate tracks so you can hear different parts of the story. I've already gone through and listened to all of the recordings that I did, and I wrote down all of the choices that were made. So I'm going to try to pick other ones because she does really go off on different tangents about different things. And I've talked about that all summer, but now that this is done, I will start that. So look for the first video. Of course, I'm going to go just like I did before. I'm going to start with the original Jill, and then we'll work our way through all the other Jills until we get to the end. So I'm looking forward to doing that because she just brings a lot of joy to a lot of people, me included. I always have fun listening to her and hearing all her different funny jokes and songs and whatnot. So that's going to be coming soon. But that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for this subscribing. I really didn't know where this channel was going to go, but a lot of people have come mainly because of Jill. I know it's about Cricket and Corky and their clubhouse, but people love Jill. She is very fascinating. So I've enjoyed all of them though. So even Miss Cricket and Mr. Corky up there. So it's been a lot of fun. and I'm looking forward to see what the next year brings. And hopefully, if I can get some Jills out of here, I'll be able to continue finding more, because that's what I love to do. I enjoy her stories, obviously, but I really enjoy finding, I consider it saving Jills. That's what I call it. So I like to find Jills that have maybe been forgotten about, in really bad shape, lost in dank basements or musty attics, or lost in a closet for somewhere, and I'm able to get them and fully restore them back to what they look like when they were new in the store. And hopefully I can continue to keep doing that, because that's my favorite part. But we'll see if I can move some of these, because I need my space back. That's actually my computer that's back behind all those Jills. And you see how many of them there are. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Always remember, please like, subscribe, love the comments. Always try to answer everyone. So make sure to leave a comment down below or on any video. And hopefully if I get the message for it, I can respond to you if you have any questions or whatnot. So thank you so much. And as always, we'll be talking to you later. Bye.